Business North Carolina magazine, with the help of Raleigh-based Merz Aesthetics, the world's largest dedicated medical aesthetics business, recently gathered a panel of experts to discuss the state of women in science, why it's important, how it's changing, and what needs to be done to expand it.
If I'm honest, if you don't see yourself represented, then you don't think it's for you. I mean, I think that's kind of like life. If you don't look around and see people like you, women, the color of their skin, whatever you identify with, if you don't see that represented, it's hard to envision yourself in that space.
I'd say the one thing I would take away is it's changing. Things are changing for women for the better. The pandemic has made some things a little bit more challenging for women. Certainly we know that women have dropped off of the career path related to a lot of things that have been challenging for them to manage their work as well as their home lives. But I have a lot of hope and optimism based on the panel because it feels, listening to my peers around the table, it feels like things are changing and they're changing for the better.
Great. I heard once, I had a career coach once say that, there's no such thing as work-life balance, it's work-life integration. And I think now more than ever, men and women are recognizing that that is reality. I think this notion of telling our stories and the importance of that in the way we relate to other women and encouraging them to follow their own path. So I think there was a lot of conversation about really the best mentors are those that really care about your whole self. And I think that's certainly been true for me, but it also continues to reinforce for myself how important it is for me to show and care for others and continue to bring that into my daily interactions professionally and personally.
And so I did step away for a little while, and I think one of the valuable pieces about doing that for me was it really kind of gave me the, we think the grass is always greener. Like, is it better to be working? Is it better to stay home? And I really realized that there's no one perfect answer to that, and that we can be good employees, we can be good leaders, we can be good parents without looking like everybody else in the neighborhood or everybody else in the country or everybody else here in RPP. That we can forge our own paths. But really, that pipeline for women to be in the scientific workforce, if you will, starts earlier. So there's got to be a two-pronged approach, really. I think we need to do some immediate things in terms of how can we even kind of retrain and reposition people, looking at the military and other places. But then I think going back, and as we kind of alluded to in the conversation, talking to middle school girls and being visible in the community as far as women leaders and women in the sciences, and getting students, young ladies, interested at an early age so that they don't think, oh, math and science isn't for me, for whatever reason, and that they're encouraged all along the way so that by the time they get to college, it's a real opportunity and option for them.
That we have to have confidence in ourselves. I think that was a really powerful message, and that we have to support each other to give each other that confidence.
When I became a CEO, I did not want to be a CEO. I fought it for a year and said, I'm not the right person. You need to go out and have a search to find the right person. And the board chair came in my office one day and said, Christy, you have something that's uncommon. Common sense and good judgment. And I said, I thought everybody has that. Absolutely not. And this is why we would like for you to take this job. And if you will do it, we'll help you. And so I think having people that surround you that want to support you makes it so much easier.
I think what stuck with me the most during this event is the common themes that all of us had, and that we had shared so many similar experiences despite the fact that we come from very different backgrounds and work in completely different industries in many cases.
I think what resonating with me from that discussion is to investigate that missing rung for mid-level women, and if they have to step away for whatever reason to make a family, to make a change to go back to school, that is accepted. And especially the family aspect, everyone who wants a family should be allowed to have that without feeling guilt or having a penalty to their career long term. And if we had a magic wand to make that different and erase it and make it equitable, that would be something that would be transformational.
I think this concept of really getting to parity at work, inside and outside the professional world, is very important for the advancement of women. So how do we continue to share that responsibility of child rearing and other components of kind of taking care of your home, etc., in a true 50-50 way between men and women, so that women are really on an equal playing field in their professional life and in their personal life. And I think that's what we really need to continue to focus on.
You do what's right for you and your family. If it's stay home, stay home. If it's come back, right? You make the decision that works for you, and don't feel guilt about it. Don't feel guilt about it.
It's easier said than done.
We talked a lot about, how do we get more women in the science-related careers? And once they're there, how do we keep them there? So I think for me, one of the takeaways is to encourage girls, specifically in middle school and high school, to stay in STEM careers, to be there and support them, encourage them, because it's a hard journey sometimes, encourage them to stay with it, and tell them not to close their options. And by that I mean there are lots of different opportunities that'll come your way, and don't close any of those off, because you never know what might be around the corner. And that it's my responsibility as a female to support and to help them on their journey.
I think it is isolating. So firstly, it's isolating at the beginning because you don't have a network. You're at university, you're brand new to science, and so you don't have that network. And then you start to grow the network, and as you heard today, it's so important you do. So that becomes your support network, and that's fantastic. But every time you then make a move to a new company or a new country, you have to start again, although you have that network in the background. So yes, it can be isolating. I think if even you spoke to males in new positions, new countries, new companies, they would feel the same way. And it's a matter of us supporting each other as we can.
It can be isolating because still we don't have that number of women in the C-suite at the executive levels, right? And so you really have to seek one another out. So opportunities like this to meet other women who are leading, to understand what their challenges are and how they're dealing with it, really we should try to find more of those opportunities somehow.
The commonality between the diverse women that were in that room are really the base desire for curiosity, or like wanting to learn and having some mentors that helped guide us. I thought that was really, really amazing. And you don't feel alone, and you also feel an enormous responsibility for the girls and women who are coming in through STEM, and how do we get more involved, because it's an awesome field. I'm leaving pretty energized from it, actually.